What is up? Welcome back to my channel, Mystic Watch. And today we got a goddamn new video on tier list stuff. Sort of. It's not really a tier list. This is a video on upcoming units that exist in JP that are not out yet on global, to give you guys a heads up what to expect and what to look out for, where to save your gems. I did one of these way earlier on, like within the first few months of the game, and it was pretty successful, so I'm going to do it again. I've been doing a lot of PvP stuff recently, and I'm enjoying it, but I'm going to start mixing in the helpful things as well. So if you all know what to do, you know what? I never say this in the beginning of the video. Just hit that subscribe button so your boy can get to 50k subs, okay? You know, we're struggling out here. We've been stuck at 41k for the last month and a half. So we, do the thing. Press the button. Thank you. Okay. So these are the units, and I don't believe I missed any units, so I had to make this all myself. And I went and yanked all the images off a GC database, and I did it in alphabetical order, trying to make them nice and organized. And I only did the SSRs. I do not care about the, like, I am not including Rs and SRs on this list since it's a waste. But here are the SSRs that exist in JP that are not out yet. Now, we'll start off with Matrona and the other way around. Camilla and Matrona, because we did get them announced yesterday on the forums. These two will be part of the they will be part of the free summons. So you know what? I don't even think I'm gonna include them. We're gonna leave them at the end along with Hawk, and I'll explain that in a second. So we'll ignore that for now. Right, Matrona and Camilla, because you're not really summoning for them. They're just part of they're like celebration units, and that also goes with Blue Hellbrum. So these three units down here, Matrona, Camilla, and Hellbrum, are all units. Well, Matrona and Hellbrum are both units that came out alongside, you know, some other event going on. So we got Hellbrum before we got Festival King. We got Matrona around like before Anniversary. So these two units were just like celebration units that you were guaranteed to get if you did all the step ups, and you were given enough tickets to do so. So these two I just want to include. And Hawk is kind of similar. Like Hawk, you could get a 6/6 Hawk for free just by playing the game. So Camilla is kind of weird because she is an actual unit that was released on JP with a standard banner that you had to, you know, use gems to summon for. You did not get tickets to summon for Camilla. So where do we put Camilla? Right? So Camilla is like at the high end of bad, at the bottom of skippable. So these are the tiers that we're going with, right? This is not a tier list on the best. Well, it ends up being like a tier list on the best units, right? Because I'm going over the units that have the most impact in your game and who you should actually spend your gems on. So we'll just stick her somewhere here for now. We'll throw her in skippable. Like I wouldn't actually summon on her banner if this was a normal banner. Now we're going to go in alphabetical order. So, Bellion. This is weird, right? Like, I wouldn't say. I don't like this. I don't like this. This is bad. It'll just be like trash. Units that you would never even care about summoning. But we might not even use that because skippable kind of does that job for us. Bellion, let's actually do this, right? I'll give you like a brief overview of every character. Bellion, he was a movie character that we got on JP, which I'm surprised we haven't gotten yet on global. He's whatever, right? Shatter on first thing, depletes ultimate gauge on the second one. Heals 30% of diminished HP every time a debuff is removed from the hero. Skip. Giant Red in her like what that is her like wedding outfit. Came out with Droll for the first time. She's kind of like a giant leader, but it never ended up working out. Increase all giant allies damage dealt by 40%. This is a really good passive, but her kit just wasn't there, and it just didn't end up working. Like, it was fine, but it wasn't anything amazing. People just didn't use her. So throwing her in skip. Now, Blue Droll is a coin shop unit, and he is Blue Droll is like at the top of skippable to the bottom of really good. Blue Droll increases allies attack by 3% for every buff on the hero. 20%, he has the same King Petrify. And then over here he has a taunt. So we're just going to change this to good, right? Because I don't think he's amazing. But I think you can summon for him if his banner is decent enough, but I wouldn't besides that. Droll, Green Droll is amazing. So I'll put these in order of how I think they should go. Green Droll is amazing unit. I don't think he's a must summon, but he is like borderline must summon. I think that's how good this unit is. He is just a very good unit. Green Easton, also an amazing unit, better than Blue Droll. We're just gonna put this in skippable because he's a coin shop unit. Goddess Elizabeth. This game, another festival unit, the second festival unit we got on JP, following Lost Vein Meliodas, and she is just as important as LV Melly, just not as flashy with blowing up people with ults or ranking up her own cards. She's got a broken shield, she's got a stun that also cleanses stances, and then on top of that, she has a free res on herself. So as long as she's on the field, she can revive someone for free. The first person who dies on your team gets revived at the health they were at before the move that killed them. Absolute must summon. Used in almost like in so much content, besides like not even in PvP. Once a Tower of Challenge comes out, she is so important to getting through the highest levels of Tower of Challenge. I think she's amazing. Now, this one's tricky. A late is skippable, but she is a... If you are a whale, or you are someone who cares very greatly about guild boss, like guild boss scores are very important to you, then she becomes a must summon, because she enables crits. What she does is she has a move that reduces the enemy's crit resistance and crit defense, kind of like a Death Pierce passive, but it's on a move. And she also gives allies extra crit damage for each time her skill is used. So just something to consider. Skip, he's decent. He's kind of like blue Ellie, that when you kill Ellie, you know, a bunch of things happen. So we'll give you a little rundown over here. Rodrin, when the hero dies, remove debuffs and fill all allies from all allies and fill their ultimate move gauge to max. And he has a taunt. So the reflect is kind of irrelevant, but he has a taunt. So he can force people to hit him on a rank 2. So he's good. He is good. You skip a bull, you don't even need to care. Just not used at all. Oh yeah, you're going right there too, and you're going right there too. I'm not even going to talk about these units that much. This Glocks, we don't even I'm so confused. We do not have Glocks yet on global. This Glocks he's one of the earlier units of this game. Like, he came out not too much after, like within the first few months of the game, we got Glocks on JP. And he was never used then. This guy is outdated beyond all imagining. Red Glocks gets used every now and then. Some commandment teams, sometimes for final boss. But easy skippable. This is also the coin shop Glocks right here. these two are gonna go together. We got Festival King and Hendrickson, Demon Handy. Busted units. These are like Chuck Elizabeth to the back. These two are PvP right now. Luckily we have like a good amount of diverse teams, but this is the best team. It's just that we have other teams that are pretty decent that can somewhat compete, so that's why you don't hear it as much. It's not the same way how like Lost Vein runs every single team in Global right now, or when Pierce came out, it was like Pierce all over the place. This is more of, this is the best team, and it's been the best team for a while, but there are some alternatives. I think summoning for Festival King and Hendy might be better than Elizabeth, because Elizabeth will also be on that banner, assuming they release them in the same order. Amazing combo. I'm not going to explain how the team works. You can take a look at both of them on GC database, but they're a debuff team. Now, Fat King. Boop. Nothing special about him. You use him in some guild boss. He has very high CC as well. That's about it. This is a skip. And I'm also going to put Mono here because Eva Lilia and Mono came out on the same banner. Eva Lilia fits really well into this Demon Hendrickson and King team, but gets easily replaced by someone like Kyo if you have him, Green Gother if you have him, Ludociel. So those, like, she's an easy skip in my opinion. She's like a decent unit. She could be in good, but I think she's a skip. I'm not really ordering these this tier. Mono sees zero use whatsoever. She is technically she's a festival unit, which is weird, but it's actually a benefit to some extent, because if you get dupes of Mono, you can actually redeem those dupes to get copies of the other festival units. But I'll leave her here. She has a passive where she does 30% more damage for each ultimate gauge orb the opponent has, but doesn't work in PvP. So she's a purely PvE unit, but not someone you need to do anything. Moving on, Ludociel is I'm not going to say he's a must summon because he is a Fraudrin-like unit. When I say Fraudrin, I mean the green Fraudrin. So let's take a look at Ludociel since he needs an explanation. This is what matters, right? Reduce the defense-related stats of enemies who have lower CC than you by 40% for 3 turns. Now keep in mind, defense-related stats is reduce their defense, reduce their resistance, reduce their crit damage, their crit defense, and their crit resist. So those 4 things: crit resist, crit defense, resist defense. So that's what it is. Way too powerful. But he requires you to get his cosmetics completely maxed, buy all of his UR cosmetics, get him an HP defense set, 15% all those across the board, for you to be, and 6/6 him potentially, right? Like, that is super big part of why Ludociel is hard to recommend to summon, because unless you do those things, he's not gonna work correctly. Like, if he is not causing his passive to go on all 3 opponents every single time, it's not worth it. So if you don't think you can 6/6 him, don't bother. But he is good, just so you know. Yeah, we're gonna put you at the top there. So, moving on, we got Roxy. Roxy is a good unit, but a skippable one. Nothing too spectacular about that. This is a Halloween Roxy that we won't see until most likely next year on Global, unless they release her early with Shin for whatever reason. This is the Halloween Shin, same thing. Good units, but nothing spectacular. Like, I don't think you have to summon for them. It's just good to know that, you know, they are decent. So if you ever have spare gems, sure, go ahead. Sariel and Tarmiel. Once again, I don't believe these are must summons. I just think they are good units. Now, both of these, alongside Ludociel, which I didn't explain, have a Grace. A Grace is similar to a commandment, but it is purely beneficial. Like, commandments are kind of like, they They can be beneficial, or sometimes they're a hindrance, and they work on everyone. Grace only works on that unit, and they're just a second passive, right? They're literally just a second passive. They will always be in your favor. For example, Ludociel is gain evasion to petrification, freeze, and stun for 2 turns. And the cool thing about Graces is that if you use these people as a associated unit, their Grace will apply to the main unit. Valenti, this is came out with the Easton, like Summer Easton. We got Valenti as well. Easy skip, not really used. Matrona, and then that's pretty much we're at the end. So Hawk was a celebration unit, kind of like Gila, where we got 6/6 Gila for free. We're getting Hawk for free whenever. Let's say Hawk isn't free, he's an easy skip. Really not that worth it. Free unit, neither of which are good. So I don't think this was really that needed. Like I didn't really need this tier over here. I think these 3 kind of surmise what I want. So your priority are these 3 units. You want to guarantee you can get these 3, and then from there take a look at the goods section and kind of pick out units you want. I'm actually going to drop Fraudrin down because I think he is skippable. He's kind of at the top of skippable. I'll leave it there. We're actually going to make a new tier. Right, add below. No. We're going to do this pink. Better than skippable, worse than good. Okay. That's it's kind of where we're at, right? Like I think this works fine for getting my point across. Like these 2 are kind of like on the brink of being in here. Maybe like this. I think Roxy's better. I think this is fine. Okay, so you get the idea. Hopefully this was helpful. This is kind of like a priority tier list, right? Units that you want to go after in what order as we get them to global. If you see any of these units come, summon. No exceptions. These units, you have to make a decision based on what's going on around that time. Is it worth it? Is the banner good? You know, do you have enough gems? Did you get lucky on something else? Like, can you afford to summon for them? Do you want to spend any money? Things like that. And then pretty much anything below is worth skipping. Like these, I wouldn't even bother. These are kind of like, if you have money, go for them. That's kind of where this is at. And this is do not summon for pretty much any condition unless you're a Mega Whale. And that's it. The phone is ringing and that is my time to go. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace out.